and I do the damn thing from now until 12. This is a party Friday on the Jump Off, and it's all about vibes. It's all about the good things. And I'm going to hang out with a dear friend of mine. As I said to you earlier on, I've got history with this man. Okay, I've got history with this man, and you'll kind of figure it out as we go along. But otherwise, what up, boy?
Yeah, yeah. Why am I more excited than you, dude? I'm so excited.
What do you mean? I'm excited. I'm keen. I'm
I know I'm
excited.
just
I'm
way more
ready.
excited. I know I'm way more excited. I don't know. I don't know. This is like full circle for me. I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy
It
to be here. I don't
is.
want to say much, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Look, I think we need to kind of explain to people because they don't understand what's going on here. It's
Yeah.
full circle because Ding and I met when we were in grade 8,
Yeah.
14 years old. And we've been friends ever since. We had an opportunity. I think it was grade 9 when we first spoke about being on radio and getting into that radio game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Y-
It was.
Yeah. And then we had opportunity. We were all in Joburg at some year, and we worked at the same radio station, and we were in the same show, and it was a jump,
It was. It
right?
was. It was, it was a huge jump. It was a huge jump. That's what, like you said. That's why it's like full circle because we had the conversations earlier on in our lives, and I think we always had the conversation from that grade 9. Like every year, we had like a serious conversation about doing it, and
Yeah, yeah,
like things just aligned, dude. The right timing happened. Like God
yeah,
timing was on time, and like it just happened. I think we've also both been passionate about it for a long time, but obviously you've
yeah,
carried on with it and like you still going and yeah, I kind of just left it and kind of did the music thing now. But yeah,
yeah.
that's why I'm so
And
happy. I think yeah.
no, carry on.
Yeah, I'm saying I think that's why I'm saying I'm more excited than you are because for me it's like, oh, I get to like, see what you're doing now instead like, I'm on the sidelines type of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Exciting stuff, man. Look, I think before we get into how you got into this journey of doing music, I want us to quickly just talk about the songs that I just played. Yeah,
Mhm.
today. Fire, absolute fire. How did you even made? How did you even go into that space of music? I know from being your friend that
Yeah,
music has always been something that you loved.
yeah,
You introduced me to new music, in fact, especially like the African music. It was always about beats for you. But
yeah.
when did you decide, okay, you know what? We're gonna get into music now for real, for serious, and for true.
It actually, the funny thing about it is that it actually comes from radio because we were doing a lot of like radio at that time when I was much
Mm.
younger, and like we used to sit outside. If you remember, there used to be like this like grass area. We used to sit
Yes,
outside
yes,
with
yes, I remember.
friends, Ndogozo, mostly Ndogozo.
Mm.
He now works at MTV, so he's also stopped radio, but he works at MTV, so he's still in the game. And
Mm.
we would talk all the time. We would listen to other because we used to listen to UK radio a lot, and we
Mm.
used to be like, how are these guys making a lot of money? And then
Mm.
we kind of figured it out that every single one of them like ventured into music at some point. They always ventured into
Mm.
music or DJ. So we were like, okay, cool, we've got to pick one of these two, or at least that one or both of them. So then me and
Mm.
Dolan started thinking, okay, cool, let's do this. And then that's how I started making music. And then I went back home. I had the whole setup because my brother was also making music. So I had it at
Mm.
my apartment because I lived in an apartment that my brother owned. So all his stuff was there.
Mm.
Then I just started the journey. I started making all the music. And obviously I had been playing piano when I was younger, even though I had stopped. So I had an idea of what music was. So
Mm.
and I had the ability to do it. But it was just a matter of like trying to build a bigger brand and not just be like a radio presenter. Because all the
Mm.
big guys like DJ Fresh that we looked up to were they were producers, they were on radio, and they were a DJ. So we
Mm.
looked up to those guys and we were like, nah, I want to be like Fresh. I want to be like that kind of guy. I want to be like more Flavor and all these other guys. I want to be like Glenn Lewis.
Sure.
All these people that are doing this stuff.
Sure.
That's how I got into music. Yeah.
Hectic. Mate,
Mm.
like I know that, listening to music, you would assume, or being in the radio space, you would assume that, creating beats is something that would come just naturally. But how have you found the creation process of, because you need to start with a beat? Do you have dreams? You need to write down something like a note? Like what happens? What's the process for you?
So I do. So I do this thing where like I only go in when I'm like inspired. So like
Okay.
for example, like I'll be like driving, or maybe I'll be like on my way to somewhere, and like I just hear something. Almost like you said this the other time she was on MacG, and they asked her how she comes up with music, and she says she's always looking to be super quiet in all the spaces that she's in. She doesn't play
Mm,
a lot of like TV. It's always quiet at her house because she knows once it's quiet, she'll hear a song. So it's the same thing with me.
mm,
Once I have like peace and it's quiet, like somewhere in the car where like there's no music, there's nothing, it's a long road trip or it's a long drive, I always get like inspired. I always hear something. So I always
mm,
try to put myself in a space where like I'm not listening to anything at all. Just like Msaki said, like it's just quiet. Like as much as I love music and everything, but the quiet times in my life, that's when the inspiration comes. And I can hear like a whole full song. I'll take my phone, I record it on my phone, and when I get home, I'll literally go bang it in, and it will sound exactly like what I imagined it in my head. So
so,
that's my yeah.
so what do you do? Do you just hum it? Do you just like take a phone and go
Like I'll literally be like da 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 da. Then I'm like in my head, I know that okay, that needs to be a trumpet, so I'll go ba 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 ba. Then I'll go into my DAW, which is what we use, and I'll literally
mm,
program that, in, or I'll play with my hands on the piano, and it comes out. I snap the drums, and I'm pretty much done. But what I'm doing lately a lot, because I'm very active on like on my TikTok and my Instagram.
yeah.
I'm putting up my music out there, and a lot of people are like, "Yo, let's collab," which is probably something I'd also
Mm.
suggest for other up and coming people that are trying to get into the game. But yeah, it's working out, man.
Nice. That's lovely. Mate,
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest things for me is like, I know that used to play piano, but like, how hard is it understanding? Because as much as you want to incorporate different instruments within your music, how hard was it understanding other instruments, and incorporating them and knowing that this one will suit this song? Yeah, maybe not this beat with this instrument. Like, how was that transition?
That's actually a good question, because I think about it like at least once a week when I do something new. So my father used to went to music school, and when he went to music school, he learned how to play something called a side flute. A side flute looks like a flute, but it's just a side flute. And so he
Okay.
also played like the trumpet as well. And
Mm.
he also knew the piano, which he taught my mother, and then my mother taught my brother, and then my brother taught all of us. So
Hectic.
the main reason I have an ear for all those sounds is because my father played strictly jazz when I was growing up. So
Mm.
jazz, like that. For me, the two highest levels of music is three: is gospel, jazz, and R&B. So if you
Mm.
understand those three genres, it's not easy, but like you just do it seamlessly, man. My sisters listen to the R&B, my father listened to the jazz, and my mom
Mm.
listened to gospel. Those for
Mm.
me are probably the highest levels of genres, and that's all I heard the whole time. When I'm with my sister, I'm listening to Brandy. When I'm with my and Mariah Carey. When I'm with my mom, I'm listening to CC Winans and Donny McClachlan. When I'm with my father, I'm listening to Judith Sapuma and Huma Sekela. So all those elements just come together, and I don't know, your brain just comes up with stuff and merges all the things that you've grown up listening to.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
do you have like a specific genre that you want your music to be known as? Because like when I'm listening to it, like I'm getting feels of like house, but also I'm getting feels of like soul. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting depth. But I don't know if there's a genre for that, but is there a specific genre that you want your music to be known as?
So generally, like when I go in, I'm always trying to create something soulful, because the chords
Mm,
that's where I start. I start on the piano before the drums,
mm,
before everything else. So I don't know, my hands just automatically go to something that is going to be like soulful. Every single time I play on the piano, I never go to pop, I never go to anything. It always sounds like it's going to be soulful, whether it's like
mm,
jazzy or R&B-ish or gospel. A lot of the chords that I
mm,
use when I play are gospel chords, and I switch them out and make them into house. But to answer your question, I grew up listening to house music. I loved hip hop at some point, but I don't think it was something that was like, I don't know, natural for me. It wasn't like
Mm,
easy, it didn't come off easy. But the house, I grew up listening to house like everybody listen to house where I came from, Epi.
mm, mm.
So definitely like the genre, what they call it now, it's called private school. So yeah, that's what it's called. It's called private school because it's got those elements. But yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't want anything loud, but it also has to have some sort of energy. I like my stuff for people to be able to like have a chat in the background while it's playing without it being distracting.
I'm not even going to lie. I legit see myself listening because I was listening to your songs just before we came on, and I legit seeing myself with a convertible
Hey,
and listening. We are driving towards the beach, or we're having like a road trip. You know,
yeah,
like that's the vibe, and we just chatting how the week has been, and
yeah.
literally that is the vibe I get from your jams.
Yeah, and that's what I want. So I have this little trick that I usually do when we like hanging out with like couple mates, whatever, now.
Mm,
And like the ox always goes around, even though we don't use ox anymore, but we still say the ox.
mm,
But like the ox goes around, and what I'll do is like when people are vibing and they don't notice, like I'll have like the playlist on me. I'll just switch it up and play my own stuff for like maybe
mm,
like 5 songs flat, and just to see if like anyone is gonna like feel out of place, like the mood, like it's changed the mood, or like
mm,
like, if it fits into what's actually happening. Because they like my friends become the audience, and I'm like literally like at the back watching to see if works out or not in
mm,
real life. Translates
mm.
all the time, and by the third song, somebody will ask, "Yo, bro, what is this that's
What's
playing?"
this?
Oh,
Yeah.
why can't I Shazam this? Because some people are trying to figure it out, but they're not saying from this first song. So yeah, every single time that happens, I think 90% of the time it works out, and
Mm,
I'm glad that like I can make something where people can chill and enjoy themselves whilst it's playing in the back. Yeah, man,
mm.
it's full circle again for me. It's
That's
beautiful. That's what I
awesome.
love.
Mate, in terms of what's popular right now, I think when you're an artist and you're coming into the game, when you're new in the game, you kind of run towards what's popular, what's popping, and what is popping right now is the Yanos, right? And did you ever find yourself trying to reach for, as much as you knew as an individual, that when you're about the house vibes, and in your element of house, your element of your private school vibes. But
Mm.
did you ever feel that rush of rushing over? Do you ever feel that pressure of rushing over to the Yanos just so you can get some traction, and get noticed?
So I deal with this all the time because I get like a few DMs per week where people see me
Mm,
playing piano, they see my chords, and they want to collaborate with me, and they want to go that direction. Or when I go into the studio, people will
mm,
make that type of piano. And bro, I tried once, and I was like, this just doesn't come off for me. Like it just doesn't.
mm,
Like, I tried in private, and it's just I'm like, nah, bro. Like I'll never reach where they are. You know what I mean? Because
mm.
for example, most of the guys that make the greatest piano come from Pretoria. These guys have elements
Yeah.
of Bacardi. They've been listening to Bacardi since they were young. They haven't necessarily been friends of fans of DJ Fresh and all the kind of house that we liked. They listen to
Mm,
like Limpopo influenced music that's based like you have to have a lot of bass and it has to bang. So
mm,
for them, it's easy to make that. For me, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up with like deep house and like mid tempo house. So
mm.
yeah, no, it wasn't gonna work. I tried it like low key, but I was like, this one, this one's not
It's
gonna.
not me, fam.
This one's not for the boy. No. They're gonna arrest me. They're gonna arrest me for this one and say, boy, this is not where you're supposed to be. No, come with us. So yeah.
All right. we played some of your exclusive music. You gave us 3 tracks. They were all exclusive. They're not out yet. So literally, whoever heard these songs, you cannot Shazam them, all right now, because it's not officially out. But mate, can you talk about these songs just a little bit and just tell us, where you were when you created each of them, and maybe just give us a little sneak peek on if you have names for them yet, and are we doing an album here? Are we doing an EP? What's the story?
Yeah, so there's one with one of my boys. His name is Grootman Slees. He's nice
Yeah.
with it, very very good. He hit
That's
me up.
that's the last one we played just before we actually yeah,
Yeah,
came live. Mm.
yeah. So that one is probably the latest one we had done. It's a really really cool collab that's gonna be on my. It's the only one that's actually gonna be on my EP that's coming. So every year on my
Mm.
birthday I drop something. So it's coming on my birthday in June. The EP is called Every Day is Sunday because I feel
Okay.
like my music is one of those genres. So, anyways, Every Day is Sunday 2 is coming out in June. That one's going to be in there. I do not have a name for it yet.
Mm.
But what I usually do, like I do a listening party and then like people throw out some names and then I just clap them on there if it makes sense. But sometimes like
Okay.
I just get names out of nowhere and then I just populate. But yeah,
Okay.
it's coming very, very soon in June. The other two, I think just Don't Find My Love. That one
That's
was
that's that's probably my favorite one. I If it's the one that I envisioned myself in
yeah,
a
yeah,
convertible,
yeah,
hair
yeah,
blowing, and I'm riding and I'm
yeah.
going to the beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody loves that one. I actually wasn't gonna send it to you, but then like last minute, I said, "Oh no, actually, I've got this one joint that I think could be great. I think that's a radio record." So I was like, "No,
Definitely. It's
let
it's
me let
staying
me."
on my playlist, mate. It's staying on the playlist.
Yeah, so yeah, Don't Find My Love was done at my which studio did we do it in? Yeah, Yinka, yeah, one of my friends called Yinka. I forgot the other girl,
Mm.
but yeah, we made that one. It was a last minute thing. We had such a like a chaotic night, dude. But I banged it in, and I wasn't even sure if it was the one. But there was this girl that was sitting behind me, and like as soon as I was done with the song, we were done with the song. She was like, "Yo, Dinga, bro, you are the guy that you think you are." And then I was like, yeah, maybe, maybe the song is good. Maybe the song is good. And yeah, man, that's how that came about. So it's coming also very soon. And then the other one is a revisit. It could have been that one is actually it's the vocals are her, the girl her.
Mm.
So I just remixed the song. So that one's a remix. So it can never really come out on DSPs, but it will come out like on YouTube because obviously, yeah, that was her on that one. But yeah, man, I enjoyed making those records. I enjoy making different records. I enjoy doing stuff that like I know people will love, and yeah, I don't know, just worked out, dude. It just worked out. Like love it.
I I I actually haven't asked you, and I think this should have been the first question I actually asked you. Dinga 112.
Mhm.
Do I say it right when I say 112? It could be 112. I don't know. Like,
Yes, it should have
explain
been
to
your
me
first
where
question.
that comes from.
It should have been your first question. So you when you make music, you make them in BPMs, now,
Okay.
which is what your it's like your heart rate as well is a BPM. So it's
Mm.
beats per minute. So the BPM that I am using to make music is 112 or 112. Some people call it.
Okay.
Most people in music call it 112, and but this 112 is also fine. This is the same thing. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's basically the BPM that I'm making the music in. So like as soon as like most people that make music, they already know like why because it's obviously obvious to them because they use the software
Mm,
all the
mm,
time.
mm.
But yeah, so I wanted to also like go with my name so that like at some point when I grow up and whatever, when I'm a bit older, I can just like everything falls off and it's just like playing Dinga. I wanted to be just Dinga, but yo, Dinga is a capital is a city in Pakistan. So
Yeah.
the name is taken everywhere. So you can't just be Dinga. So I was like, how am I gonna do this? I have to do underscores and or DINGA worldwide. I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do all of that like fancy stuff. Let me just put the BPM next to it. And people just always call me, it's either they call me DINGA or they call me like 112, 112. So it is what it is. I'm just happy my real name is in there. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, because people have always advised me to like go by my actual name, and before I didn't, but yeah, um, that's where I'm at now, and that's what it means.
Yeah. Utinga, by the way, had so many nicknames in high school. D Money. I mean,
How did it,
I was like, if you're gonna be an artist, surely you're gonna pick up from your nicknames. But
one of
nah, you
these,
went.
one of these? Yeah. It probably would have made sense to have like a cooler name or whatever if I was like still doing hip hop. But I was like, I know, but you know how house is, bro. If your name is Tulani, you just name yourself Tulani. If you
Yeah,
know, if
yeah.
your name is Sauce, you have become DJ Sauce. It's like,
So
yeah. I like hip hop where like everyone's got like if I was in hip hop, I definitely could have used D Money. That would have been
D
cool. I'm not
Money.
gonna lie. It's the money. Yeah.
Mate, you're an independent artist. How hard has it been for you starting the music game, getting yourself out there? I mean, you and I are people that are not necessarily social media people, and I say that when, like, like, like when you look at what other people are doing on social media, it's wild, and they are like heavy in it. It's content driven. It's, and we're not necessarily those kind of people. But how hard has it been for you, as an independent artist to get your stuff out there, to be seen, to be heard? Yeah, how's that journey been?
It's been tricky. The funny thing
Mm.
about me, man, is that like
Government
I
name? What's like done? Listen, I know you know me personally, but listen, it's Quacks on the radio. It's Quacks on the radio. Take it
I'm
easy,
so
my boy.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Quaxo. I'm so sorry. Did you hear? Like I said, money. Like I went like down because I was like, oh, maybe I should have said that. But yeah, and the funny thing is, written Quacks right in front of me. So yeah, Quaxy, like it's crazy because I work in digital marketing. I work in marketing, right?
Mm,
I do this for brands. I go up to let's say Keith and Gacy and say, guys, listen, this is the strategy I have for social media. This is what we're going to start doing. This is what we're going to start doing on Instagram. This is what we're going to do on TikTok. I need people to do this and that on YouTube. Let's create this content. Here's what we need to do. Here's the schedule. Bang. I do this for brands every single day. And
mm,
and I've never done that for myself ever. And I've
mm,
always been like this shy person to get on camera and create content for myself. And sometimes people that are really good at something, they don't necessarily do it for themselves. So last
mm,
year, December, I was like, and I've had it. I created a strategy for myself, created everything for myself. I did like a whole
mm.
day for my brand. I said, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna achieve. This is where we're gonna be at by June, and this is where we're gonna be at by December, and this is what I expect to be done. I'm now telling myself. So I literally turned myself into like my own manager. I created my own strategy of how I'm gonna go at it on social media, and that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just following my content schedule, and I'm shooting, I'm recording stuff, I'm putting out content weekly. The funny thing is that it's crazy that like once you start being consistent on social media and you tell yourself this
Mm.
is what I'm gonna do, it actually works out. I mean, I started these accounts in December, and I only started posting really in January. It's the beginning of March now, and both of them are like on 2K. Like
Mm.
if I continue being consistent, these accounts should be at 10K by the end of like the year. So I just put
Mm.
down a plan for myself, and I just created. I just acted like I'm my own manager, and which you have to be. And I just told
Yeah.
myself, you're gonna get up and create content, and we're gonna have a niche, and make sure that people follow, and we're gonna create clean content, and that's what I'm doing, and it's growing. Like now, people actually know me. Like my Instagram is followed by a lot of DJs that I've always wanted to work with. I mean, for example,
Nice.
people like Mello and Sleeves that DM me, we're gonna be working with them. Or Kamu D, they've invited me to sessions. People that work with Master KG, they invited me to Master KG's studio to go play keys for them as well there. So all these things are coming together just in a matter of 2 months. And sometimes I feel like, oh, I should have done this like 10 years
Mm,
ago. I probably would have
mm,
been further, but it's never
mm.
too late. And I'm still doing it.
And I also am a firm believer of everything works out as it should. So don't be too hard on yourself, mate.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be this way. We've got a message here from Uyo Nwaba, and she's asking, Quacks, how do we get the song now? Do we need to wait until June for this guy to come through? What's the story?
that
It's like
that's
this guy. His name is Dinga 112 or Dinga 112. Yeah?
yeah, whatever you want to say. Yeah, but my name is Dinga. Yeah, it's tricky. It is tricky. I mean, you can listen to the jump off. They've got the exclusive there. I'm
Yes, that's
sure.
right.
I'm sure you can request it once in a while and send like a DM, and they'll play it there until it's out. Yeah, I don't have like a bootleg that's up on YouTube or anything yet. We have to wait until June
Yeah.
before it drops. That's the tricky part about like testing out music. You test it out, then people
Mm.
watch it immediately. But okay, it's gonna work out. It'll be worth it when it does come out.
Got one more message.
Mhm.
Um, and it's asking, are you going to go? Oh, sorry. This message is from Mulita. She's asking, are you going to go into the DJ space so that
Mhm.
they can like December vibes, Bazi, like you're getting booked? You know, that
Mhm.
was a question I was actually going to ask you as well, but
Mhm.
she kind of beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, no, no. I will. I was at some point like hectically. I was like deep DJing all the time every weekend. I
Mm,
kind of laid back a little bit just to focus on the music because I realized that with the DJ thing, like if you listen to what Gabza said, Gabza was playing his stuff, his exclusive stuff. So you imagine like I'm out there playing only my exclusive, like we just listened to now. It's just only
mm,
my stuff. Then
mm,
like that adds value because like anyone can play the popular songs, but now when you come in there
mm.
and you play your own songs, then the promoter's like, yo, I need you again for another gig. And then again and again and again because they realize that you've got this catalog that people have never heard. And that's what
Mm,
music DJing is about. DJs historically introduce new music. So if I
mm,
can be that guy and follow the steps of people like Gabs and Kelvin Momo that step on stage and play their exclusives fully, and then it makes me different from everybody else that's just playing the bangers. So the music is ready. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine this past week. We're gonna get at it. We're gonna get at it. I think it's gonna be a big year, and we've already got the plan set up. We know where we're gonna start. Yeah, it's time. I think even this interview just like fell on my lap at the right time, and we were actually talking about all these things that have been coming together.
mm.
But yeah, dude, it's time, and we're about to get at it. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Love it. Dinga, just one more thing before I let you go. Where do you see yourself this time next year? What do you want to have achieved?
Okay, so this time next year, there's probably like three things. Have that album out.
Sure.
Yeah, take out an EP, so and then I need to have the album out. Once I've got the album out, and then I just need to be at a space where like I'm really consistent on my social media. I'm pushing, and then I'm collaborating with my dream artists, and hopefully by
Mm,
the end of that next year, I'll have that like super big song that can like
mm.
be life changing, and then like just go international with it, man, and just take the music to the world because people are waiting to hear good music, and I think I have a couple of in my bag that people would like to hear. So that's what I want to do by next year, and God willing, it's gonna happen.
Indeed. Ungandilibali tsho mama.
So
Ungandilibali.
let's pause.
Ungandilibali Dinga. Money.
Yeah.
Speaking of collaborations and dream artists that you want to work with, can you mention a few for us, and why you feel like those are the ones that you want to work with?
I'm gonna shoot the big names. Um, I have to work with Kelvin Momo.
Okay.
I think he's a genius. I think he's really, really special. I love how he puts music together. I love how he arranges music. So I've got to work with him.
Hmm.
Um, I have to also work with Gabs at some point. Oh man, imagine that would be a dream collaboration. I have to work.
Definitely.
I have to work with Gabza, MFR Souls. Also, I love, 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 love. Loction Deep, love what they do. There's another guy called
Mm,
Dice. I think he does like electric tech. I've got to work with them,
mm,
and yeah, it's basically all those kind of guys, man. There's so many people. There's so many. Some of them I'm already on the way. We just need to get things done. Like Omid is a guy that's done music with, who is doing an EP now with a lady called Mahu, and I've sent him some
mm,
stuff. And hopefully, it will get on the project. And like once you're at Mahu level, then you can start getting all these people like Amifaku. Saki is definitely somebody I have to work with as well before she gets out of here, because I feel like she's just gonna like get out of here very
She's gonna
soon and
hoy, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and do what she loves, like art or like drama or make music.
Mm,
As
mm, mm.
like get her while she's still not still with us in terms of like a house. But yeah, those are the people I need to work, and it's gonna happen. You'll see.
Of course.
Does this get
Well, mate,
does this get saved somewhere where we can actually go look at it one day?
this is
Yeah.
definitely is. It's going to be around for forever and ever.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yes. So we're going to come back to this time next year, and
Got you.
we're going to have a look at where you are. Okay.
Absolutely. Got you.
Awesome. Dinga, before I let you go, please let people know where they can find you, where they can find your music. So basically, social media handles. Let the jump off listeners come and support you. Let us know
Yeah.
where.
So on Instagram, it's Dinga dot 112. On TikTok, it's the same thing. It's Dinga dot 112. And on Twitter, no, Twitter I'm not really using right now. But yeah, those two are my two platforms that I'm like pushing. And then on YouTube as well, it's also Dinga 112. So I've got
Mhm.
those two platforms going. They're all pushing. I'm posting something weekly. And yeah, connect with me over there. Even if you're an artist, let me know what you can do. I'm also looking for people that can play instruments so we can add them to the project. So if you're one of those people you're listening, doesn't matter if you've got one follower, is if you can play something, hit me up, hit me with a DM. I check my DM daily. And we can do something, we can cook up something, we can get in the kitchen and be chefs and do something.
Love it. I love it. Mate, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been awesome. I appreciate you so much and all the best. I love you lots. So, ngole phone get you.
Okay, Ndona, yeah, thank you so much for bringing me on, man. I love it. I love it. Ciao.
I got you. I got you. All right, it's just gone 52 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. Remember, at 11, I do come through with the news headlines just to keep you in the know what's happening in and around your world. Otherwise, kuthiwa into emnandi iyaphindwa. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to head over to one more jam from D Money, Udinga 112, and play it because I have not gotten enough. These songs are going to be on my playlist, so don't worry. If you are someone that had missed out on the first one, I'm gonna go for it. I'm allowed. It's my show. Okay, I'm allowed to do it. Money, love you, boy. We'll speak soon. All the best. Bye bye.